Every night it was the same routine. I'd tuck my son, Leo, into bed, read him a story, and just as I was about to turn off the light, he'd whisper, "Dad, can you check?" "Check for what, buddy?" I'd ask, even though I already knew the answer, under the bed. "He's there again. He's calling me." I'd sigh, get on my hands and knees, and lift the blue dust ruffle. "See? Nothing here. Just your toy soldiers and a missing sock. No monsters tonight." I'd give him a reassuring smile, but the fear in his little eyes never quite faded. This went on for weeks. "Dad," he said my name. "Dad, he wants me to come down there with him." I tried everything. A new nightlight, a dream catcher, even letting our golden retriever, Buster, sleep in his room. Nothing worked. My wife, Sarah, and I were getting worried. We talked about child psychologists, about night terrors. I was convinced it was just an overactive imagination, a phase he'd grow out of. One rainy Tuesday night, Sarah was working late, and it was just me and Leo. The wind howled outside, rattling the window frames. After his story, Leo's grip on my arm was tighter than usual. "He's louder tonight, Dad. He sounds close." I went through the motions, a bit more tired and frustrated than usual. "Leo, we've talked about this. It's just the wind. There's no one under your bed." I stood up, ready to leave. "Please, Dad, just listen. For real this time." His voice was so small, so full of genuine terror, that it stopped me cold. Fine. To prove a point, I'd play along. I knelt by his bed again, but this time I didn't peek. I just stayed there in the dim glow of the rocket ship nightlight, and I listened. For a full minute, there was nothing but the sound of the rain and my own breathing. I was about to say, "See," nothing when I heard it. It was a whisper, dry and raspy, like dead leaves scraping across pavement, and it was coming from directly beneath the mattress. The voice didn't say much, just 2 words. But it wasn't calling for Leo. It was calling for me. It was a perfect, chilling imitation of my son's voice. "Come down," it whispered. "I'm here." My blood ran. I scolded. I shot up, my heart hammering against my ribs. I stared at Leo, who was sitting bolt upright in bed, his eyes wide, tears streaming down his face. He nodded slowly, a silent "I told you so." Every rational thought in my head screamed that it was impossible. It was the wind, the house settling, my mind playing tricks on me. But I knew what I heard, and I knew it wasn't my son. Slowly, fighting every instinct to run, I dropped to my knees again. I took a deep, shaky breath, and this time I lifted the dust ruffle. Underneath the bed, in the deep shadows, 2 eyes blinked open. They weren't monster eyes, not red or glowing. They were blue. They were my son's eyes, and nestled right beside that face, sleeping soundly, was my son, Leo. The face that was wide awake, the one with Leo's eyes, smiled at me. The whisper came again, closer this time, right by my ear. "He's sleeping now. We can play." I don't remember screaming. I don't remember grabbing my son from the bed and running out of the house into the pouring rain. The next thing I knew, I was in my car, miles away, with a terrified Leo shivering in the passenger seat. We never went back to that house. We told everyone there was a gas leak, a structural problem, anything but the truth. How do you explain that something wore your son's face? That it slept under his bed, calling for him, and then for you? Sometimes, late at night, when the house is quiet, I think I can still hear it. A faint whisper, carried on the wind, a perfect imitation of my son's voice, asking me to come play. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more tales from the dark. Stay safe out there.